Welcome to the first video in 2025 and thus also welcome to the second part of the CFMOTO 450MT conversion series. If you're interested, stay tuned, we're getting started right now. For all those of you who are coming across the channel here for the first time today and haven't seen the first part of the conversion series yet, I'll link you to this up here in some corner or down here so that you don't miss the part. A short recap of what we did in the first episode. As many have already mentioned, 3 parts were made. First, we attached a decor set, which was from SKDA in Australia. We replaced the seat, the flat one for the high one, and the third component was an exhaust holder. Since we are also trying to reduce weight, the pillion footrests were removed and the exhaust bracket from B&B Offroad, also from Australia, was mounted on the motorcycle. Today we continue with the next 3 parts and what they are. We'll go into it very briefly bit by bit and of course apply it to the motorcycle. Here you can see everything that will be installed today. Today we start with the installation of new handguards. They are from Cycra from the USA. A very cool product. I have used it several times in conversion projects. I can only recommend. They go mega well with the decals, especially in terms of color. We will become lighter, because we will replace the battery with a lithium-ion battery from SKDA. Of course, we also weigh up what the whole thing has brought in terms of weight savings in the end, and we go into a possible luggage solution. The whole thing, as you can see here, from the Kriega brand. A little hint in advance. I will offer you the luggage system later as a bundle, i.e. as a combination package on my website, where you can then order the parts one have installed today directly with one click, and thus be sure that everything you see today is also included in the set. Of course, before we can start assembling the new handguards, the old handguards that are on this must first be dismantled. That's what we're doing first. They come down. They are not bad if you are only on the road, offer certain good wind protection and are also quite stable for it, but if you go off-road with them, I always recommend crash bars and smart handguards as the first thing. This saves you a large part of the damage, and that's also something that's relatively simple. The old handguards are now off, and let's take a quick look at the scope of delivery of the Cycra Handguards. This is the Pro Bend Ultra version in a limited edition, so this is black, this is limited. And yes, this gray and black sticker, it fits perfectly with the decor kit. I also think it's nice that the aluminum protectors themselves are black and not silver. As many have already mentioned, I have had very good experiences with it. What is also included is protection for the aluminum bars. This will be attached here later from the outside, so that if you fall, you damage it. You can also do that individually. Then, of course, the paint is off immediately. Because it is universal, there are different sizes for the handlebar inserts. And what's pretty cool is the way that's attached. I'll show you that very briefly on the motorcycle. And again, before we show you that, the screws to it. They are also all black, which means that it will later remain a very nice look on the motorcycle with many black elements. While most other handguards with silver clamps are attached approximately here, and sometimes there are problems with the cables, they attach it here at the bottom. In the end, it looks really super clean on both sides, and the temples really protect you right up to the back. You just have to be careful. There are models where it comes dangerously close to the speedometer unit. I think and hope that will not be the case here. What I already know, because this is not included in the scope of delivery, is that I will attach handlebar ends to the side later, but thinner ones. I don't want to use the original thick handlebar ends anymore, really super thin ones. I'll show you that again later in the third part, what exactly I did there. No tools are required for the first steps. I have now already put the screw with the clamp here. I just slide it into the handlebars here, let it hang loosely here, and we do the same with the inner part now. As you can see here, the back part is now also on, which is also still completely loose. Now it has the advantage that I can grab the next screw, and here at the front there are 3 openings for the screw on the bracket itself and another 3 threads on the middle holder. This means that I can now see which hole fits best with which thread and adjust it without much effort. And that's only possible as long as you really let everything go. So, let's see what fits quite well. I take the outermost thread and the middle opening. So, I'll leave it all very loose for now, so I can now bring it in the direction where I would like it to be, and as soon as I like it all, then I can tighten the elements. So, the first side is now fixed, and before you continue with the next steps, I would recommend you to check again and again whether everything is really still free and working, the throttle is not stuck, the brake can still be applied on the right side, and very important, turn the handlebars all the way to the left to check whether you still have enough space between your speedometer unit, windshield, or whatever you have installed in the front that is still there. Once you have done that, you can continue with the installation. I know, the topic of handguards is quite controversial. There are 2 factions that say I need a closed handguard. I am one of them. I'll tell you a little more about that in a moment. And the other faction, which says, well, I don't want closed handguards. The others keep the weather off just as much. And I don't have the risk that I will get in here with my wrist if I slip and destroy my wrist. Certainly yes, there is a reason, but there are so many other factors that can lead to it as well. For me, it's easy if you hit a tree or have another obstacle somewhere that you don't get hit on your hand here. Just like when the motorcycle falls, so that your levers remain intact and you can continue. And there is now the procedure for me. The short little hint. I have not had a negative experience so far, except for one occasion. However, this was not due to the concept of the closed handguard, but simply to the selection of the handguard itself. I deliberately don't want to name a brand with which this happened to me. The following situation was, it was a piece of forest in which we were driving. I had to put the motorcycle down in a controlled manner, and maybe the last 80 centimeters to a meter I dropped them into a soft forest floor. However, this has already led to the temple bending massively inwards. The clutch lever was on the left side, then could no longer be operated, and the screws were also so crooked that it was really a torture to get it out later. For this reason, I decided against this brand in the future and give you the tip, don't buy cheap handguards, invest the money. It doesn't have to be Cycra, there are so many on the market, such as Barkbuster. Yes, they are a bit more expensive, but your security should definitely be worth it. So, enough with that, on with the other. So, next we continue with the edge protection. To do this, you need a screw and the threaded sleeve, which you insert here from the back. Open the plastic part from the front, it's best if you put the screw through it. You can use it with the included Allen key, or you can get your own quad. The sleeve is guided inside, which means you don't need anything to hold back, it's really cleverly solved. You can then tighten it. I put a small drop of Loctite on it, and the same goes on now with the actual windshield, which we now also attach. You now have 2 options, either leave the ventilation parts open, so you have more wind flow, or you put the 2 covers in to have more weather protection. That's how I go on now. It is also guided inside it, which means you don't have to hold the key against it. The small screws are also black, simply to keep that elegant at the end with the black. If you are also friends of a very high level like me, then I have something for you now. And you have a little nose that peeks out. It has to go in down here later. That means you have 2 layers of plastic here, but the supplied screw is just as long as the one in the places where there is only a plastic. This results in the following. While where it is single layer, the screw really closes flush at the back. Where you have double, it is so that it does not close flush. So here the screw could have been 4 to 5 millimeters longer, then that would have brought a clean finish. But not in such a way that this becomes a problem, it's still stable. It's just whining at a high level, I'm such a friend of that. This is what it looks like now when the handguards are mounted, and as you can see here, the black-gray fits perfectly to the foiling, and the thing that always makes me particularly happy, or where I particularly like to look, is when everything in front of me fits in color. That means it stays here now. Black and black, also the levers, this gives the whole thing a very nice look. Let me know in the comments if you like the handguards, if you might consider them too. As I said, I can only recommend it to you. Before we continue with the second part of the battery, I would like to briefly address one point. And that was already as a comment or as an email that I would only show things that I wanted to sell. So far, everything I have installed on the motorcycle is actually not in my range and I don't sell it. Neither the decals, nor the exhaust mount of B&B Offroad, nor the handguards, nor the seat. Also the battery, which I am about to sell, is not available in my shop, only the Warrior luggage system, which comes at the very end in the video. I sell that to you. This means that you will always get honest feedback from me, and I only recommend the pieces that I stand behind 100%, and all the products that you will find in my online job I have consciously selected. These are all the products that I am sure you will enjoy and that I will have few problems with complaints and dissatisfied customers later on. What you won't see in the conversion video here are components that come from AliExpress or other Chinese platforms. I always want to know where the products come from, how they are manufactured. It's my safety. If I fall or anything else goes wrong while driving cheap products, I'm the person who suffers. And that's exactly how you should think. Just as a tip, you can of course buy whatever you want. I don't want to talk you into it. It's your decision. Just rethink the whole thing. Sure, production in China is cheaper. Many manufacturers also have their products manufactured in China, but specify certain quality requirements there. If you buy something on AliExpress or on other platforms and you don't know who is behind it, what is the philosophy? Is it just about making a lot of money as quickly as possible, or is he 100% behind his product? Do you have that in mind? I don't want to lecture you, it's just a little advice from me. We will now continue with this and replace the thick fat battery with the lithium battery. Such a battery change is not particularly spectacular. First of all, of course, you have to remove your seat to get to it. That's logical. Loosen the rubber here so that you can pull them out later and remove the poles. It is very important to start with the negative terminal first when disconnecting. I'll get them out now, then we'll weigh the old one against the new one. The new one comes in. This is now very unspectacular. Sometimes the plans turn out differently than expected. My shaft remains empty for the time being, simply because my supplier sent me the wrong size. This is not what I had ordered. And as you can see here, the lithium battery is higher and therefore does not fit in the shaft. Plus and minus are also opposite. In the worst case, I could have turned that around somehow, but it wasn't the point of it either. That means that I'm not going to show you that in the version today. But I can give you the weight data, because it weighs exactly the same as the other one. It is a bit different in shape, but also weighs 0.91 kilograms compared to 3.81 kilograms. This means that you save 2.9 kilos in weight with just under 65 euros, because they are currently on sale. This is also quite high up in proportion. So I'll say saving more weight with less money is not possible. This is only possible with the replacement of normal lithium battery. Then let's just move on to the next step. Sorry for that, I'd run after you. We start with the assembly of luggage. I think that's the most exciting point today. Okay, the really cool thing about it is that it's really a rackless system. That means, if you remember, we dismantled the rear rack in the first video and thus I think saved 1.5 kilos, and you don't need it for the assembly now. Everything I show you now comes in the set that I will show you as CFMOTO 450 Rackless Combo, Kriega Combo, on the internet in my shop. That means you get an M8 screw in black, Torx, the matching conical washer from me, so that it looks nice and clean in the end, as well as 4 of the OS rack loops. Later you have to remove the silver part plus the 2 plastic parts, because what we do then is the following: we take the 2 parts, place them on top of each other. I'll show you that right away on the motorcycle. Take the screw in with it and place it at the rear, and I'll show you what that looks like directly on the motorcycle. So now you can see a page here. I've already mounted it. 2 loops for the reason. The lower loop, which goes out diagonally to the side here, is later for the OS base, so practical for this part, which we then put underneath. The second one here is the optional. But I would recommend you to do it, because then later, when you have mounted the base, you can put a third bag from above and hang the hook there. That's why the order is important and the angles are important. On the other side is the lower one, which holds the base, and the upper one is there to hold the bag. So, we're just assembling that very briefly. I would also recommend a small drop of Loctite. I'm not doing that now, because I have to do it a few more times back here. But I would definitely do that before a ride. I'm not overdoing it with the tightening yet. This is what the whole thing would look like. As I said, again the lower ones are for the base and the upper ones for the third bag, which you can put on top. And that's something, I think, you can leave it that way. When you ride reckless, you don't have to cover anything else. That doesn't look totally stupid now. It actually looks like it should be. Write me your opinion in the comments, what you think of it. And we continue and now test how the base fits. And that's what we're going to do now. So, and as you will see in a moment, it goes relatively quickly. This is the universal base. There is no specific one for the CFMOTO 450MT. How I mount this is as follows. I go through the bottom and hook this into the first possible one. I do it myself very briefly on the opposite side. To be sure that you both use the same ones once, I always count from top to bottom. On the other hand, there were 7 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 is free, just like on the other side. Then you hang it in the back. I recommend you to make the straps as long as possible. By the way, that's how it works later with the luggage. If you have that in it or have attached it to the base, hook and straps, pull the base about in the middle. You have 2 loops up here that you can reach into. Take them and now you can tighten them. There are rubbers included, you can push them backwards, so nothing wobbles around. The basis is fixed and now you have the opportunity to choose from 3 alternatives. 6 liters, I go with the 12-liter version. There is also an 18-liter. You have to see how it turns out with the free space. I will drive 12 liters, so 12 right, 12 left, and from the US series the 20-liter version for on top. Well, so that we can try that with the bags, I'll take off the base again, mount the bags on the base, and then we'll try the same thing again, and then I'll show you what it looks like with the mounted bags. And this is what the finished setup looks like when filled. I have now divided it for me with one side of clothing, the other side is everything I need for the motorcycle such as first aid kit, chain spray, tools, etc. And up here the bag is then my camping bag. This is now the 20-liter version. That means you are now here in the setup at 44 liters capacity. For me, for example, that's now enough for a summer trip including camping. Everything else I transport with me like action cams and drone I have in the backpack. The empty weight of the system, i.e. the base and the 3 bags, is about 4 kilograms. If you now subtract the 1.5 kilos from your rear luggage rack, you have solved your luggage system with 2.5 kilograms more weight. You are now also super flexible with it, because if I do the same setup, but no camping, I can of course remove the bag. That's 4 clips, they're gone, and remove all 4 straps. I now have my setup without camping. If I pack a little more or no camping, but colder, I would probably pack my clothes in the big bag, because I would like to have them quickly removed in the evening when I would go to the hotel, so I would like to take them down quickly. The 2 are then allowed to stay on the motorcycle as far as I'm concerned. Then I click on my 4 clips, take the bag, go to the hotel, and leave the rest outside. And with that, I'm practically through with today's video. As I said, this set, exactly in this combination, I'll link it to you below. You can find it in my online shop with all the attachments we have just discussed. If you have any questions, you can also send me an email or a WhatsApp. You can find everything on my website. Otherwise, wish you a good time, drive safely, and until the next video.